Hey, thank y'all for tuning in. Welcome to the Quarter Report brought to you by the Red Knight Special, and this is Word on the Net. Now, today, I'm not going to hold y'all, man. As you can see from the title, man, it's a crazy story, man, but I think it's a story that needs to be talked about. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of, you know, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that people we don't discuss and we kind of look past, not realizing that it's deeper than what you really think that's going on in our world. And spoiler alert, I'm not racist at all. So don't think I'm here being biased and none of that. I'm really transparent about all this because I'm not a racist person. I love all people. But anyway, no further ado, let's get to the top. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it.
Firefighters going into homes, seeing Black people, seeing Black children, and leaving the Black children to die. That is the confession of a firefighter. Now, I'm going to give you the highlight, and then we'll get into the meat of the story. Here it is.
So for context, I drive trucks, and I stop at this Denny's to grab a coffee. And as I'm walking to the bathroom, it's this old guy sitting to the left with about 12 people that's celebrating his 89th birthday. Sat down, ordered some food, so now I'm sitting like across from the guy that's celebrating his birthday. And everybody that basically came to celebrate with him had left, so now it's just him and his wife. So as I get up to go wash my hands, I see him and I give him a smile. I'm like, happy birthday, young man, 89. That's a lot of memory to have. And he said, well, thank you, young man. And he smiled. He kind of just stared at me. And so I come back and his wife is gone. She's talking to some other lady that goes to the same church they do. And he sees me. He says, come here, come here, come here. And I said, yes. And he said, there are way too many things that I wish I could forget. And I said, yeah, man, you make it to damn near 100 years old. I'm pretty sure you got a handful of regrets. And he looked at me with the most serious look ever and said, you have no idea. He said, you know, I used to be a firefighter through the 60s and 70s. I said, that's what's up. That's a very commendable job. And he said, yeah, it should be. He said the 60s and 70s was a different time in every way possible. You know that, right? And I'm just like, yeah, no. He said, back in those times, I was a way different man, and who knew that we'd get to the point where we are in society today, and I'd be feeling the way I'm feeling about the decisions that I made back in those times. So right before he took a very long pause, he looked at me and said, back in those times, it was very common for firefighters that looked like me to leave people that looked like you in burning houses and buildings and horrible situations just to say they couldn't get to us.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid.
Now listen, man, y'all go tap in with Indisputable, man. They make good content. You know what I'm saying? I subscribed over there. You know, I'm a subscriber over there. I watch a lot of their podcasts, and they make a lot of good, valid points over there. You know what I mean? Like I said, hit that like button, that comment button, and subscribe, man. Man, hit that like button, comment button, subscribe. I'm gonna say it again. Hit that like button, comment button, subscribe, man. Put the thumbs up in the comments if you like the content, so I can keep bringing you more of these hot topics. You know what I mean? Anyway, back to what I was finna say, man. You know, I really, like I say, I'm not a racist guy, man. I love all races. I don't care if you're Chinese or Korean, Portuguese, Asian, white, Japanese, whatever race you is, African, Kookaburra, you can be an alien. I love all beings. You feel me? So, I'm not racist. I love communicating, chopping up with people. I like to hear other people's theories. So, you know, if you got some suggestions, send them in my box. But anyway, you know, I'm going to say this, right? I'm saying this to say that, like I said, I'm not racist at all. I just want to bring awareness to the situation. I have never actually myself been racially profiled, not that I know of. I never felt like I was. Anytime the police ever was messing with me, I can't say, oh, they messing with me because of my skin, because I can never say that. I got to be real. Every time the police was after actually messing with me, it because I was actually out there doing something. You feel me? Then they had a reason to mess with me. So I have to admit to that. Now, as far as the fire department goes, that's sad that you would think that people can go into a building and watch people burn up, and your job is to save lives. So that just lets you know, don't think that because a person hold a title that they really live by that title. If you notice, they had the what was that called, the killer nurse that was running around. Y'all remember her? That was going to the hospital and knocking down patients, making just getting rid of them, unaliving patients on because she chose to, because she wanted to for whatever reason. So you got to understand, if these people exist, You feel me? These people is in places of high ranking. You got people like this that's in the courtroom, judges, lawyers, prosecutors. You got people who think like this, that's fire department, police officers, CIA, FBI's. You got people with all these different people. You got to understand every entity out there, there's got to be some racism in there. Got to be some people who racism in there. If they're going to come to the public and say it, no. But why you think we got so many biased police? We need people of our color to police our neighborhoods. We need people who come from where we come from to be policing our neighborhood, because you know how to deal with the people. You familiar face. They will be more easy to, you know what I'm saying, a whole conversation with you and relate to you, because you can relate to them because you come from that background. Just because you become a police don't mean you got to be, and you black don't mean you got to be a cricket police. You can be a Spanish police officer, white police. If you come from our neck of the woods, go for them positions, because we need y'all in position to help. If you educated, go to college, become a lawyer, become a judge. We need people of our color in position. And again, I'm not racist at all, but let's get back to the topic.
Remember, so we can continue to bring this content to you.
Hit that like button and subscribe button, and go over there and check out indisputable content over there. I'm going to drop a link in the description. Let's get back to it.
Now back to the show. And that's not even the most chilling part of the confession. Here it is.
He said more times than he'd like to admit, he would hear screaming black people and children in burning buildings and houses and apartments and stores and cars, and he would literally just pretend he didn't hear it. He said his last time doing it was when he made eye contact with the baby that he deliberately went into a building to save and deliberately didn't. And he said that was the last time he did it, and he quit that year. He said the nightmare still hasn't stopped. He still hasn't forgiven himself, and therapy helps, but it's still a living nightmare to have those memories.
I bet it is. I can honestly say I bet it can be a living nightmare, because when you're growing up, that's the reason why I can relate to it, and I'm not as mad as somebody else that's watching this might be, because I relate that to being in the streets. And when you're a young kid, young black man growing up in the streets, and you got to survive, the way that you got to survive, you tend to have to do things that you know what I'm saying, at that time you think it's cool. You're getting away with it. You're doing your thing. You're getting your money. But as you become an adult and you break into your manhood and understand what a man is all about, and understand when you hear people talking about, I'm a real one. A real one don't mean you out there playing with gun. A real one means you take care of your responsibility as a man. You take care of your kids. Your family ain't in need. Your bills is paid. You feel me? That's a man, you being there for your kid. A real one ain't a dude out there on the corner gang banging and shooting up things and doing that kind of stuff. How real you gonna be sitting in the cell, laying next to a dude named Big Brother or Lil John, but he's 600 pounds. Lil John, come here, boy. Let me rub on the back of your neck. But come here, boy. Come massage this big old toe of mine. You feel me? That's real to you, being in the cell with men where you watching naked men take showers, correctional officers telling you to bend over and spread your cheek. That's real to you? Come on, man. Ain't nothing real to me about that, man. You stay on these streets and take care of your family. That's what's real. And another thing that's real is this topic we speaking on. You feel me? This is a real topic. All y'all out there not pay attention what's going on. Firefighters is letting babies and people burn up based on your color and how they feel about you, your age. And come on, man. It's crazy.
Came to firefighters, I never thought of them like that. Like when it came to like police officers, lawyers, and judges, right, and everybody else, we knew they didn't give a, especially police officers. But I don't know why that didn't click to me that no, it was everybody that hated us. Everybody had a hand in deliberately making our lives worse. But it is something that I cannot think about for too long, because that visual of you fake going to save somebody and not saving them because of the color of their skin and the entire 911 understanding, because, oh yeah, you couldn't get Jamal. Oh well, just another one gone. Like,
chilling.
Right. And that's the point I was just making. That's the point I was just making right there, is the simple fact that, man, it's babies and elderly people burning up, and y'all got the power to save them, and you just let them burn. You let them burn. That just goes to show you how much we be getting crucified our whole life, man. And like, imagine your people. This is what I want y'all to think about. This how bad it's been. Imagine this, right? Imagine this. Imagine your mother's mother or your father's father growing up in the state where when he walking through the woods, he's seeing black bodies hanging from the tree, chopped off head, burnt up bodies over here, crosses being stabbed in your front yard and on flames. Imagine living like that, right? And you got to go through life. Family was important back then, like it should be now. Unfortunately, it's not. But back to the topic, imagine living like that. You know how traumatized they was as people growing up in society. You know how traumatizing it is to go to your house catch on fire, your baby's trapped in there. You done got half burnt up trying to save the kids, and you can't get to them. The firefighters come in there, or you ain't even, you know what I'm saying? Like the firefighters got the equipment to save them, go in the house and see them, can save them, but just don't do it. Like, no, forget it. Come on, man, let's go, man. Forget that. Ain't our baby. We don't get my baby. Think about that. Come on, man. That's crazy work, man. Crazy work.
But true. This is not the first time we have seen something like this. Obviously, this is a confession of someone who has been separated from the profession for many years. But it reminds
me, I had to
something like this. Obviously, this is a confession of someone who has been separated from the profession for many years. But it reminds me of in New York, when the Attorney General was speaking on behalf of the newly installed chaplain of the fire department, how white male firefighters booed her. And they had to be disciplined by command.
So now this is in New York. Like, this is crazy, man. In today's time, we still living with this hate, man. We got so much going on in the world, and people still looking at our skin colors and being racist. Now, I'm going to say something that's going to make a lot of people mad. But do I care? No, I don't. Listen, I tell people all the time, man, I'm more racist against my own people than I am against any other race. I'm going to tell you why. And let me repeat that again. I'm more racist against my own race than I am any other race. And I'm going to tell you why. When I walk down the street or I drive down the street and I look to my side, and if I see somebody white in the car, I'm not thinking about him pulling out no gun and start shooting. I don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I'm walking down the street and I see a white person walking past me on the side of me, or I don't think about that person causing no harm and trying to do nothing. It's the people of my own skin color that I have to worry about. I got to go to the gas station, look over my shoulders because somebody going to be starving, or not even starving. Somebody just want to hurt somebody, rob somebody. I got to worry about that. And it's always people of my skin color. That's why I say I don't follow the Black Lives Matter, because if Black lives really matter, then black people would stop pulling guns on each other. Black people would stop shooting at each other if Black lives really matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, until we get to that point where we can look at each other as brothers and sisters instead of looking at each other as common enemies, then until then, I don't follow no Black Lives Matter. All lives matter, period. No matter how you look at it across the board. Everybody who have a kid, a mother, a father, a dad, a sister, auntie, when they leave the house and when they leave the house, we expect for them to make it back home. No matter what color they is. When we lose our loved one, they in hurt and pain the same way we in hurt and pain. You feel me? And half the time when these get together with these Black Lives Matter meetings, it don't ever turn out right. They lose it, riot, and still break up the stuff in the ghetto that we have access to. But now they done tore it up. So now they gotta, put more money. Like, it's crazy how all of this is. And I'm only saying all of this to say that take the racism out of it. For me, I'm not. But look at the situation, the bigger picture that's at hand. You feel me? Like they say, we need to understand the more you know, the more you stress. Like they say, God take care of babies, fools, and old folks. Babies and old folks, because they have no control over what's going on. fools because they have no knowledge. You can't hold somebody responsible for something that they don't know. But the more knowledge you get, the more stressful it get, the more pain you go through because the more you know. Like they said, if you want to hide something from black people, put it in a book because we don't read. We'll argue points that somebody else made that told us to other people. We'll argue points somebody said to us and not even do the homework to have the evidence to argue it. You feel me? But this is a sad topic, man. Imagine how many babies, how many families burnt up in a fire because of these people, these fire departments running around here that's supposed to be trying to help us. They don't care nothing about you, man. They're getting paid a check to watch to unalive you with a fire when they could have stopped it. Let's go.
Because this is outside of the allowed protocol of the honorable firefighters code. Put them up full mast. I'm glad you told this story, dear brother. Thank you for reminding us. Thank you for reminding.
For sure. Thank you, man. Because this is something that it never crossed my mind to even think that the fire department was part of this whole lynching of blacks. I never even put them in consideration of saying, I always was like, boy, the police, you gotta watch over the police and the crazy white boys running around and get. But the fire department too, it makes sense though, because they the ones in position. Hit that like button, that comment button, that subscribe button, man. Let's run it up, man. Let's get it up there, man. Drop that thumbs up in the comment if you like the content, man. Let's get it, man. Come on.
Reminding us of the struggles we have overcome and some of the struggles we still face. What began as a typical trip to Denny's turned into a horrifying honesty hour for a black truck driver named Shamar Allion. Shamar connected with an 89-year-old white ex-firefighter who made this confession. The older man's regrets with his life and time as a firefighter were not only racist, but deadly. The video posted to TikTok back in October 2023 recently regained significant attention online. Eerily enough, this video came a year after Flint, Michigan mother Crystal Cooper sued the city and the fire department. Remember this? For the same claim. We covered it. Leaving her two black sons. 12 years.
Look at that beautiful family right there, man. Look at that beautiful family right there. She done lost both of her sons, man. Two little handsome little dudes. They gone, man. And she feel the same way that y'all could have saved my babies. Why y'all didn't save them? Imagine living with the fact, and for you firefighters that's watching this and might have a hand in this. I'm not saying all you firefighters like that, because I don't believe all people is evil like this. I think that's just a deep hatred in yourself where it make you hate yourself to the point where you just want to see others hurt. Because me as a man, I can't see me letting somebody, family, mama, dad, uncle, kids burn up because of my deep hatred for a race. I don't get it. I don't understand what the hate for.
Year-old Zaire Mitchell and 9-year-old Lamar Mitchell for dead. For the Daily Beast, two white firefighters left the children inside their burning home and lied about clearing the room they were stuck. Product Safety Commission published this data based on CPSC staff estimate. Estimates for 2016 through 2018, there are about 360,000 home fires every year, leading to roughly 2,400 deaths. In addition, it is estimated that there are nearly 10,400 injuries per year. Research also shows that across all races, African Americans have the highest rate of fire deaths and injuries.
That's why this need to be talked about. Why is this? Now, listen, like what I'm saying, I'm trying to be total transparent here. It could be because of maybe the black people living conditions, like we live in apartment buildings, it's way high up in the air with some type of fire department can't get there in enough time. You feel me? It's different avenues of why they came up with these statistics. This is just not fire departments going to a fire and standing there and being like, forget them, we ain't gonna say them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because the black people live in conditions, white people probably live in better housing, better equipped places where they can hurry, rush, and get to them, whereas we trapped in the ghetto in these hood little prisons out here. You feel what I'm saying? That's on the streets that look like apartment buildings, and they ain't equipped to get everything to you fast enough. I don't know. Let's get back to
Injuries. Nearly twice the overall death rate and more than twice the overall injury rate. According to CPSC's Residential Fire Loss Estimates report, although African Americans represent only 13% of the population, they represent an estimated 24% of the home fire deaths and 27% of the home fire injuries. The National Fire Protection Association similarly reported, compared to their share of the population, African Americans were roughly twice as likely to be killed or injured in a home fire in 2007 to 2011 per the reporting data as the overall population. The difference was even greater for children and older or elderly adults. The home fire death rate for African American children under 5, 14.6 deaths per million population, was 4 times the rate of 3.5 for white children of the same age. African American adults 65 and older had a home fire death rate of 56.3 deaths per million, 3 times the 17.7 rate of white older adults. Note these states were used to encourage preventative safety initiatives that departments could implement for their communities, 2021. From a broader structural perspective, another way public officials can target the disparity in fire-related deaths highlighted by the commission's report is by diversifying local fire departments. Based on 2019 workforce statistics from Data USA, more than 95% of firefighters were white male, and just under 80% were white and non-Hispanic. Do you understand what that article is saying? It's saying if you want to save more lives, you got to stop having a primarily white male-dominated fire.
And that's the point I was just making. We need more people of color in position. That way we can have a different outtake on situations that's taking place. If you got one race of people that's looking at it like, well, ain't nothing we can do, and everybody say, okay, well, ain't nothing we can do around with it. At least if you got 2 or 3 people of color up in there and they say, well, maybe let's try going this way and let's try this first before we just give up. And it'll change the narrative or change the outcome of what's going on, right? That's what they saying, man. We need more people in position of police, fire, lawyers, judges. You know what I'm saying? All these different people that's judging our life, you know what I'm saying? All this, we need y'all in position. Don't think, oh, you're going to be a square, you're a snitch if you become a police, man. We need y'all. If not, what we going to do? Like, come on, man, let's get it. Let's get to it.
Fighting force, because for some reason,
hit that like button, that comment button, that subscribe. Throw them thumbs up in the comments, man. Let me know if you like the content, man. Hit that subscribe and like button, man. Let's run this thing up, man.
They end up saving the white babies and leaving the black ones. All right, Ricky, thoughts here?
I'm not surprised.
And truth be told, right? And I feel where they coming from, man. I'm like I said again, I'm not racist, y'all. This is a topic I feel like that need to be, I can share it. You know what I'm saying? I'm a small platform trying to blow it up, man. But I want to speak on real topics that we need to really get in tune with. You dig what I'm saying? You know, we got to start looking at each other differently, man. We need to start putting ourselves in position, man, so we don't let these kind of things happen no more, man. It's like we so busy tearing each other down that we ain't focused on the big picture that's going on out here. You dig what I'm saying? So thank y'all again for tuning in, man. It's the Quarter Report brought to you by the Red Knight Special, and this is Word on the Net. I am your host, DeVille, man. And you can tap in with me anytime. Leave a comment if it's a topic you want me to touch on. Leave it in the comments if you like the content. If you don't like the content, just leave a comment, man. Hit that like button and subscribe, man. Let's run it up, man. I only got 20-some subscribers. I'm trying to get it up there, man. Help your boy get it up there, man. And I'm going to be able to bring you better content. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to understand something, man. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed day, man. Think about the stories that we just talked on. Think about that, man. Think about what's really going on out here, man, because, we got people it just don't make sense. Every day there's some kind of somebody speaking their truth and it's coming to the light, and it's making us, it just look bad for us out here, man. We need to come together, man. We get all this, and I'm not racist at all. I love all beings. You know what I'm saying? Every color, every red, don't matter. Anyway, y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. I'm your boy, man, your host, Prevail, and I'm out of here.